Well, hello there, listeners, and welcome back to an all-new episode of Faux Real. This episode is in partnership with World of Fruit. World of Fruit is a deliciously interactive, fruit-themed pop-up exhibition where all of your senses are nourished. See, smell, and taste your way through 8 incredible rooms that you must seed to believe. From our watermelon swings to our dragon fruit pool, every step is a new wonder to behold. Come sample our tropical fruits from around the world and taste our scrumptious amaze bowls, which are all vegan and oh so yummy. As seen on KTLA and in the LA Times, World of Fruit is located in the heart of West Hollywood, California, at Melrose and La Brea, just across from the world-famous Pink's Hot Dogs. If you are looking for a healthy and fun, family-friendly place to celebrate July 4th, we are open from noon to 6 p.m. for the holiday. Tickets are also available for dates through October 2019 at worldoffruit.co. But, as a special treat for Faux Real listeners, you can get 15% off your entire ticket purchase by using the code WOFFRIENDS at checkout. What a delicious deal! So head to worldoffruit.co to get your tickets today. And if you'd like a sneak peek at your fruitational adventure, check us out on Instagram at worldoffruitco. Before we get too far into this episode, I do have a shameless plug. I will be hosting and doing stand-up at the Page 71 Lounge in Studio City, California on July 7th at 7 p.m. Come see me and an incredible lineup of hilarious comics as we take the stage for Spotlight Sundays. That's the Page 71 Lounge in Studio City, California. Don't miss a minute. I know I've been absent for a while, and you've had to trudge through this entire year so far without a new episode, and there are a number of reasons for that. Mainly, I needed to take some time to get my mental marbles back in the bag and make sure that everything upstairs is up to par so that I could keep making this show for you in the best way possible. As obligatory as the phrase me time has become over the past few years, it really is important to take some every now and again. We all go through some pretty serious trials in this vast eternity of life that passes us in the blink of an eye. It's important to get to know yourself well enough to know when you need a break and who to turn to when you break down. There's no need to be embarrassed or ashamed. It just means you're human. And even if you're not human, even Alf and E.T. need to work on themselves sometimes. Poor Alf is still fighting that cat addiction of his. My guest has had his fair share of putting the pieces back together to find the power of self. Judah Holliday is a singer-songwriter from Miami by way of the Bronx. He began playing drums at age 7. Then, soon after, the guitar, exploring melody and range from a very early age. He wrote his first song at age 14 and never looked back musically, later finding friendship as well as a writing and producing partner in Kevin Rudolph, with whom he has recorded much of his recent and forthcoming songs. Inspired by the heartful music of artists like Neil Young and James Taylor, Judah's music has a feel-good energy that lifts the soul as its notes touch the ear. I am so very excited to have him on as a guest today. Make sure you stick around for the whole episode to hear some of Judah's music, which he graciously played for us. Without further ado, here we go with my very special guest, Judah Holliday. So welcome, Judah Holliday, to Faux Real. We're in an all-new podcasting space today upstairs in the La Brea Tower. So this is kind of cool. It's a lot more open than where I'm usually at. So that's I know you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No,
I'm going to cut all this out.
No.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
You got some really cool music. I listen to your singles. I watch your videos. You have a really melodic sound.
Thank you.
How you doing today?
I'm good. You know, we came in yesterday and a little tired, but excited to be here and, you know, just grinding and trying to make things happen.
Always.
You know, it's hard. It's really hard work. And I didn't realize how hard it was until I was like 100% all in. It's just so hard, like beyond money. Like money can't buy any of this. It's literally like just constant persistence. And that's what it is. Like that, you know what I mean? Like
Every second of every single day.
right.
And it takes a toll on you in every capacity of your being. It's mental, it's physical, it becomes biological, it becomes physiological, it becomes spiritual.
Totally.
It all hits you, and sometimes it hits you all at once.
Right.
And those are the days you wake up and you go, holy crap, man. I mean, there's that thought where you're like, I'm so glad to be doing this.
Right.
And at the exact same moment, holy crap, I am exhausted. I just woke up and I feel like I've lived 3 months in a moment.
Totally.
Yeah.
I went through something like that yesterday.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of times like I'll get paranoid about moments and wonder if like things are right or where they're headed, and then we'll advance and be in like, you know, in LA doing a bunch of things and having a bunch of these press things scheduled, and like, you know, I forgot that like it took like months to get even to this, you know, point. So I've got my manager, Josh, who comes with me everywhere, also my best friend. So it's easier for me because I'm not all there emotionally stable. You know, I'm more of a weak link when it comes to like emotions and stuff like that. So
That is not weak, my friend.
Well,
That is
I
strong.
mean,
that is strength in numbers.
strong
It's good to have a
recognize
friend.
if you have.
It
you know,
really is, and it's good of him to be here.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it because
sure.
everyone needs a pal.
Yeah, and a whoopee.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Where'd you come in from?
From Miami. So I live in Miami. I moved there in 2010 from New York City, which was just way too insane.
From the Bronx.
From the Bronx.
Yeah.
It was just too much going on. You know, too many honking horns and like speeding trains and buses and all that stuff. And I ended up getting out of a marriage very quickly that I probably shouldn't have been in from the get-go, but had I not gone through that experience, I probably wouldn't have had the, you know, the capacity to handle what I can handle now. So I decided to scoot out of the city and into a more like tame and recognizable environment. Miami is like a place where I would vacation with my family a lot, and it just seemed like a good choice to go. It wasn't so far from where everyone was. I went there and you know, started figuring things out, what I wanted to do, what type of music I wanted to really hone in on, and I was very, very bad for so long. Like, I was absolutely just dreadful, and like I couldn't understand why people don't see what I saw. Like, what I saw inside was like this passion to do, and my passion like blinded my eyesight and hearing, and like it didn't enable me to hear how bad the music was, but it got better throughout the years. But I didn't care how good or bad I was. I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. And when you feel that comfortable with like what you're supposed to do, I don't think it matters how good or bad you are, because there's just no other option.
Absolutely. You got to put your art where your heart is.
Right. I wear my heart on my sleeve.
Oh,
no
wow,
pun intended
cool.
here. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Does it go all the way up? You got a full sleeve?
I do. Well, no, what they call, I guess, a quarter
sleeve? Okay.
It's really not a quarter sleeve. It's really a half sleeve.
Okay.
A quarter sleeve would be here, right?
Right.
If we were to cut this thing.
Unless
into
you
four.
got, octopus arms.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I'm just up till here for now.
That's cool.
And it's just a blend of things that I was too, forgive me if I derail this. I'm very good at this.
That's all the show is.
Okay, great.
All I know how to do is
like
go off on a tangent.
for ADD
oh my God,
patients.
you have no idea.
God, that's great. But, I decided to begin, getting some artwork on my body that really portrays what I really love. I love flowers. I used to be too embarrassed to talk openly about loving flowers because there's hate out there, and I just didn't want to go through the
Flower
judgment.
hate.
Right, exactly. And at a certain point, I was just like, this is me, like I worried about it so much that it got to a point where I was just like so tired of worrying about it. I was just like, here's the first one. I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, screw you all.
And I'm
getting it all the way up, baby. Quarter sleeve.
Quarter sleeve,
Kiss my petunias.
Yes. So yeah, I mean,
That's awesome.
it's been a cool ride, especially being in Miami and
Yeah.
meeting. I met my wife down here 7 years ago, and
That's wonderful.
she's great. She's very supportive, and right when we got married is when I really decided to drop everything and hit the ground running. And again, it was off to like a very, very slow start. But I think I'm here now talking to you or in LA doing different press because there's just no other option for me. And I really believe that it's less about luck and more about like deciding what you want to do and just not taking no for an answer, just being persistent. There's so many people like while I'm here, I don't mind being that guy that just blows up your phone until you answer and until I see you. Like, that's just who I am, and that's what's helped me, get Kevin on my record, Kevin Rudolph. Like, he and I are close friends, but you really need to have a capacity to just, like, not really care so much about what others think. And it might sound easy for me to say just because it's, like, an innate quality I have of just being a pain in the ass. But it's important, and...
It's okay to be shameless as long as you're propelling yourself forward.
Right.
Nothing wrong with being persistent and assertive, because if you don't speak up, no one will ever hear your voice. And you really do a lot with your voice. You're a vocalist, and you've been doing that for a long time. And you also play piano. You're a guitarist.
That's right. Yeah.
So you really got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of your singles.
Sure.
So Good Life, as you mentioned, was co-written
and produced by Kevin. Yep.
Awesome. And
also a good friend of mine, Vito Ashford, was a co-producer too on that song.
Awesome. And how did you meet up with him?
With Vito?
Mm-hmm.
Vito is just another Miami producer that I was working with in the very beginning, and we did a few demos of the song prior to meeting Kevin and realizing, like, wow, this song could really sound like how it sounds now. But one of the pieces that I decided to keep was the drop in the song, which Vito wrote. I'm also like the type of person that like nobody knows what other drops we were considering. So like, why not give Vito a cut on the record? You know what I mean? Like so I'm very like fair like that. So Vito co-produced it. Like, who knows what'll happen? So, you know what I mean? So I met him, we're good friends, and then Kevin just like destroyed that record. He's just like, when we went to the mixing session, mixing is like an amazing experience, being able to hear things so clearly. But what it really does is it really allows you to hear how amazing the producer is. And Kevin's just a beast. It's like weird, it's scary.
I'm always intrigued by the mixing. One of the things that sort of drives me crazy about this show is the editing, because as much as I like to hear my own voice, and I do, hearing it that much, like over and over and over, and cutting out all of my thousands of uhs and ahs,
right?
Just it's bombarding,
and it could cloud you. It ruins
yeah. So
I was
that's really nice to have
a guy.
Have a guy.
I just heard this on the way here. I said, let me listen to this. And one of the things that you said was you thanked the engineer for being here
every time.
Yeah, that's what. And that's like staying till the end of the credits in the theater. You know what I mean? It's not the first people who.
Because I'm lost. I'm lost without the engineer. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Seriously, I don't. This show doesn't exist without my awesome engineers, and I just don't have that skill. I could adapt it, I could acquire it, but I got other things to do.
Exactly.
So I'd rather pay them money to do it for me.
Totally.
And they're going to do a much better job for sure.
It's like 100%
every time.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we.
Thanks for checking it out. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I wrote the song "Good Life" in rehab, or elements of it in rehab. I went to rehab for Adderall abuse. If I derail into that, just bring me back on track.
I love to hear about
Captain.
it, honestly.
Happy to talk about whatever you want. But essentially wrote about how I envision my life sober, and most people don't realize how much prescription drugs, and I'm not a prescription medication advocate or anti any of that. I'm simply just talking about the effects of Adderall how it had on me. But my life is like I have a new life essentially after I've come out of rehab. I was on, I was on some form of stimulant since I was 8. So I was brought up to believe that by the doctors I visited, because my parents have a very supportive family up until now. Like the people I spoke to before I came in was my wife, my mom, my dad, and when you're a parent, I'm a parent to 2 dogs, and I don't know what it'll be like when we have kids, but like I can't imagine loving more than I love right now. So, but the point is, it was very hard to go in and be apart from them. Like I don't like being alone. I don't like working alone. I don't like writing alone. Like, Josh's an excellent writer also. Like half the time, like I'll come up with like a hook of a song and just be like, Josh, I'm out of here. Like just write the words. Like I don't care. Like I don't want to do things anymore like alone by myself. So the point is that had I not gotten help and had my family not intervened at the time that they did, there's like a high chance that I not only wouldn't be here, at where I am now, but like, who knows? It was just a really hard thing. And the hardest part was really following doctor's orders, because like that's what you're supposed to do. And it was just, it gave me a very clouded judgment of myself and my self-esteem growing up. It made me feel that I couldn't really accomplish things on my own without this magic pill, like from Limitless with Bradley Cooper type of thing. And, and now I'm like, 9 months clean from that substance.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And it's like, I have my moments of forgetfulness, but there's nothing compares to how it was before. And I'm just happy now.
That's awesome, man.
So cool. It really is.
The doctors were prescribing it to you at this young age?
At this young age. It was a form of
for
stimulant.
ADHD?
So not ADHD, it was more ADD. So just the funny thing is that patients that are hyperactive have a paradox effect with stimulants. It calms them down and does not make them wired. So all the people like in college who take it, they take it because they want to get high. They want to feel like, and it feels good. Obviously, we wouldn't take it, but it's not. That's not how it's meant to be taken. And I think that people who have ADD are being prescribed it, and it's the wrong thing, because you're not. It's one of the side effects that it doesn't tell you that you feel like this euphoric state, and like the way that they describe. You know what I mean? Your heart might race. But all of the elements that so it's just not good. It's really not good. And there are, without trying to sound so like an activist, because I'm really not, because I like to just mind my own business.
But you've lived through it.
I've lived through it, and it's just very dangerous. I mean, what ended up happening was my blood tests, like my liver, my kidneys were in such dehydration that like I was like on the way out, literally. And I felt as normal as one could feel in that state. And I spent 3 days in the hospital, and it was just like, it was scary, but the scariest part was feeling okay, but seeing like blood results saying like you're there, but why do I feel here? It's just, it's a very big problem. And I'm thankful that I have the strength to like not, go anywhere near it. And I let everybody know, including the people I work with professionally like you, because like, it's just to my benefit. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll go to a party sometime and like, and you're the only person I know. And I'm like, look, everyone's doing Adderall in the bathroom. I need you to help me out. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you, man.
I appreciate it.
I got you.
So
I'm ready to go to this party.
Me too.
I was just talking to somebody about a rave yesterday.
Oh.
I've been to 2 raves on set, but I've never been to an actual rave.
But
so if you're up.
I'm up.
Okay, let's go.
Talk
You're
to
in town?
Josh. Yeah,
let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
No Adderall. I will share with you, I've been on my my own share of antidepressants over the years, and I've been told many times that I need to take this or that, and I've tried this or that. It will help clear symptoms, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
hit the
It doesn't.
problem.
It really doesn't. It
No.
really, truly does not. And then I come back down to that state where I'm, trying to dig myself back out of my own grave and inside of my thoughts.
Right.
And I just really, when it comes down to it, I gotta rely on my community. I gotta
sure.
rely on my confidants, and I gotta trust them. I gotta get into my music, and
Totally.
help let it pull me back from the brink.
Right.
Growing up, did you have a song or a band or an artist that really helped pulled you from the muck?
I mean, I wasn't as much in the muck when I was younger,
Right,
because I was always on some stimulant. But I remember listening to Hanson,
Mbop?
Mbop.
Cool.
I remember listening to, so like, yeah, a lot of Matt Carney and Gavin DeGraw.
Awesome.
They're very big inspirations to my current melodic approaches to this sort of like hybrid singer-songwriter, at times trappy stuff, that whatever it is, like, I don't know what my genre is. I don't, and that's okay, because
Nothing wrong with that.
So, but really, like, the mainstream pop is what was on repeat. But Gavin and Matt Carney are my go-to guys for a lot of things. I'm not great with sitting with my emotions and like sitting and just like feeling bad. So I never like was like, okay, I'm sad right now. Let me go put on a Coldplay song or whatever. You know what I mean? It was like, I hate feeling this way. Let me go do something distracting, like, bumper cars or whatever it is, to just like not feel that way. I never was one to just sit and sort of sit with my emotions. And that's why I think I've learned to like push those things off because of the medication I've been given, and I too partake in anti-anxiety, and like, but what I realized was, and just a piece of advice, just because now we're so close, so.
Right, absolutely.
It's very hard for us to be in the situation that we're in, having to take this. And the way I see it, like, I'd much rather coast, even if I don't have every answer solved. If I can get to a point where I am right now, which is just like, there are things that could be better, but like the majority are so good. I have, like, I have a house, I have a family, I have dogs, everyone's here. Like, look what I'm doing. Like, it's like, could I say what time it is? It's like 1:15 on Monday, and we're like, is it Monday? Tuesday, 1:15 on a Tuesday, and we're like doing a podcast right now. I'm
either 3 days ahead or 4 days behind.
Exactly.
I can't get it right either.
So the point is that we don't need to figure everything out. And if you get to a comfort zone where you are, and by the way, I wouldn't have guessed that you were on anything because you seem extremely happy.
I'm not currently right now.
Right, okay.
I've got some awesome shields up.
That's great.
I've got Star Trek Next Generation shields up right
That's
now.
great. So, I mean, maybe that's
I've built a lot of them up over the years.
That's
so.
awesome. But yeah, we can't figure everything out. But as long as, for me, I like to be comfortable, and but bring me back.
We all do. It's just it's always a trial to get there. We got a lot of life is hard, man.
Life's hard. Can I go for this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do whatever you like, man.
All right,
it's
cool, man.
it's a party on the show. You do whatever the hell you want.
Okay, cool.
As I was saying, I listened to your music. I watched the video for Good Life. I really liked the lyric. I've been learning how to love these imperfections. Staring back, all I got is my reflection. That really speaks. After what you just shared with me, I think that really speaks volumes of not only your music and your art and your passion, but your entire being. Like, I think that really, I know that you say you feel like you enjoy coasting, but in your music, I can tell that you are really propelled inspired by the tribulations that you have overcome. You know
I
what I'm
am.
saying? And that really comes through
Awesome.
in your vocals. You know
Thank
what I'm saying?
you. I'm glad that you were able to get that out of it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. It's an emotional thing to even talk about, because it's like I've completely just let everything, let my guard down. It's so easy to be me, and just, if people don't like what it is, well then, I mean, it's not for everybody, but I'm pursuing something that's true to myself. I've been in the situations that I've been in. I want to share it with anybody that's willing to listen, and to be able to connect like that on a creative level also, because it is something that's important. I think that's what musicians try and do. The key part though is, the reason I like it is I'm just speaking what's in my heart, and the fact that I could connect with somebody without trying to modify it too much, to be in this direct way that's awesome. That's my goal. So I feel that way with that lyric that I said, because it took a while to accept myself for who I am, and to realize that I may always have these thoughts of wanting to just anything that, whether impulsive things or being unsure of myself, and whether or not I'm headed in the right direction. There's just always going to be these various roadblocks, but as long as I don't, as long as I just speak the truth, then that's always a good thing to do.
The truth will set you free. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
It
man.
is, yeah.
Absolutely.
And it feels good, and it's nice to be accepted for it, because it was looked at as very problematic growing up, and only now am
Same.
Yeah.
Hashtag mood.
Uh-huh.
I was the most stereotypical nerd that you can ever. I mean, I still am, but now I wear it proudly. I got
Right.
the flag waving off my back. But I mean, if you've seen it in a movie, it happened to me. I got swirlies. I got stuffed in lockers.
Wow.
I get pushed in the middle of the hallway by somebody
Right.
walking by. Stuff happened to me all the time. It's still I see those moments replaying
Right.
on the record, and those notes bring me right back to
Right.
I gotta put those shields up and
Yeah, exactly.
just blast forward.
Glad that you have the power to do that. It's a huge jump, from just thinking oh, this is happening to me, after what can I do? No one's gonna do it for you,
Not a chance.
you just
no.
gotta and thank God I'm young enough to where I was able to sort of figure this out now. I've hopefully so much more time to really experience this stuff clear-headed and not cloudy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to be playing? What venues? Who do you want to be working with? Tell me your dreams, man.
I'm gonna tell you my dream.
Okay.
In 5, you mean it's gonna take 5 years to get there?
Not at all. Well, 6 months from now.
I mean, I want to be able to play for a few hundred people that'll sing my music back to me. That's really my dream. It's not so much bigger than that. It's just really doing this groundwork to the point where I could reach a significant amount of people, so that I could meet people you seem like a fan of mine, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
so to be able to 100 people
Cool.
this is and then they say good life back, whatever.
I have at least 100 fans of the show. So check.
Check, sick. So and a place that I've always wanted to play was the Greek Theater in LA.
Awesome.
And also the Troubadour.
excellent venue.
You know, and intimate, small,
Yeah.
but just means so much to like the ride that this has been, like more than, you know, amphitheater stuff, you know, like Red Rocks or even Jones Beach in New York. It's like, I used to play at CBGB Gallery in New York and stuff like that, like, and that's like a step below, you know, Roxy stuff, right? You know, and you know, but playing a show like at the Greek or at, is Roxy still around, right?
Oh yeah,
The
Roxy's still
yeah.
around.
Like stuff like that. It just reminds me of like when I was, it reminds me when I was in my, you know, teens and like watching people like, I don't know, like Ryan Cabrera, you know, like 10
yeah.
years ago, like just doing his thing. And, you know, On the Way Down, he had that hit. You know, even like Ashley Simpson, you know, 10 years ago.
Wow,
like,
there's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
right? You know, but those are like all the people that I like looked up to, and I was like, I want to be like them. You know, I want to do what they're doing. But I didn't have like, I just didn't, some people are gifted and they have like this stuff happen quicker, but that's not luck. That just, it happened a little quicker. Like for me, like I was a late bloomer, you know, like took me some time to get comfortable talking to girls, and now like, you know, I'm fine with it. But the point is that
I think your wife would agree.
Sure. Well, that's true. Whether or not that does happen, as long as I don't quit, I'll never know if it won't, you know?
I love that.
So
Absolutely.
try and keep it like that.
Well, you'll be playing the Greek soon enough. Weird Al's going to be there
Is he really?
in August. I'm still trying to get tickets. I'm pretty
Wow.
stoked about it.
That's sick.
I love the Greek, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, you'll be there for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah,
One
that's
day.
coming.
I'll see you backstage then.
Okay, great.
You know?
I love backstage passes. What's a great concert that you've attended?
A great concert that I've attended was a show in Orlando that Andy Grammer put on.
Oh, nice.
He's a native of LA.
Yeah.
I remember when his song Keep Your Head Up was hitting the radio waves in 2010.
Yeah.
I would stand in my apartment like a, you know, teenage girl, staring in front of the mirror, playing Keep Your Head Up, playing guitar, and singing the song and pretending that I was living what he's doing. And now I'm living what he's doing 10 years later, basically. But it takes time, you know, everyone's different, but his show, the reason I loved his show is because I knew every single song. I got to meet him. He was like,
Wow.
he was really nice, you know, it was just awesome. It was just really awesome. And that's really it, you know, like that. I've been to other shows, you know, like I've seen Paul McCartney, and I've seen,
Wow.
and I've also seen, you know, like Billy Joel and Elton John, but what sticks out for me is like Andy Grammer and you know, like a FaceTime call with Gavin DeGraw I had, you know, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
Like that's the
Tell
cool.
me all
that's-
about that.
Yeah, well, so Kevin Rudolph and I are really close friends now that we've, you know, finished Good Life. He's essentially executive producing my record, or my LP, and he's a very sweet guy. He's, you know, to himself, he does his own thing, but, you know, I must have struck a little heartstring there because I think he likes me. So he and I hang out a lot. We enjoy going to have lunch in the Bal Harbor shops in Miami, Florida, which is this outdoor, really, really, you know, calming, sort of like a mall with nice stores and nice restaurants, and we just hang out there. But one day, I had gotten some tattoo work done, and I wasn't feeling well. So he called me, and he was like, "Hey, I'm at Bal Harbor. You want to come hang?" And I was like, "I can't." And then he just puts the phone, and it's Gavin.
Oh, wow.
And they're just walking together in the mall, and I was like,
Just
and I was-
walking around at the mall
yeah,
with him
yeah,
like this?
and Gavin was on my FaceTime, like I was like that, and it was crazy because, you know, it doesn't matter how big he is to other people. He's like what Justin Bieber are to some people. He's like that to me because like I remember like so many moments in my life listening to Gavin, like from, in college, before college, and to be able to be like, and I told him, like, you're the number one person in my bio that I refer to.
Yeah.
And he was just like very appreciative, and it was very cool. It was just something that you can't buy that. And I'm glad that Kevin felt comfortable, on his own doing that. So
That's a good friend.
I've come a long way.
That's a really good friend.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
I co-hosted a previous podcast, and I got Weird Al to call in for 15 minutes. Obviously, I've been trying to get him in studio. That's my life completion moment, is to have him across from me,
Wow.
in the studio, which is a matter of when, not a matter of if. Let me tell you, I'm looking at everyone in the studio and eye to eye here. But it will happen. But I got 15 minutes. He called in. I had been going back and forth with his manager for like a year.
Wow.
A year to get a phoner.
Oh my God.
He and his manager did the LA Comic-Con, and he's never, to my knowledge, he hadn't done any conventions like that before. And he showed up with Jay, and he was there. And I mean, I've met him a number of times over the years. He's the nicest guy you'd ever hope to meet, truly. I didn't have the, $50 or whatever it was to like go up, but I was dressed as Jebediah, my Amish alter ego from Amish Paradise, repping the cause. And so Jebediah just, sort of floating through, and I sort of found my way up there. And I told him straight out that I'd love to have him on the show, and his manager said, send me an email, and then went back and forth for a year, finally made it happen.
See?
So.
Persistence pays off.
That's right. So eventually he'll be in here.
Everyone's got to be a little bit of a pain in the ass in order to get it.
Absolutely.
Just have to.
You got to be shameless sometimes.
A little
it's
bit.
Okay. It's all
It
right.
is okay.
I've got some really awesome
Like, they'll
guests
let
in
you
here
know if
from
it's
just,
harassment. Like, they're just going to be like,
they sure will.
they sure will. So until they like,
If they want to send you a cease and desist,
exactly,
they will find your
they
address.
will let you know. So.
But I've got some really awesome guests from just tweeting them,
Awesome.
or hit them, sliding in those DMs on Instagram,
Great.
Sometimes, I mean, you never know. You don't know unless you ask.
Right.
And I always ask.
That's great. I love that.
Judah, thank you so much for joining me here.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. This went all too fast.
Did it? Okay.
I know you're buzzing in and
Yes.
buzzing right back out. How long are you going to be here in LA?
We're going to be here till Friday.
Okay.
And we have some meetings and
you doing the whole media train?
yeah.
Okay.
And just we popping in and then out, but we'll be back before before too long.
Awesome.
You'll catch me at the Greek.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
6 months.
Right. Okay. I mean, wherever it is, we'll make sure to get you your tickets.
Oh, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Well, before you head out, would you like to play a song for us?
I'm gonna play you my new single, "All That I Got Tonight."
Excellent.
Sick and tired of waking up, strung out as fuck. I'm sober. Yeah, I'm sober. I found a way to live again without the stimulants, my friend. I'm sober. Yeah, I'm sober. I'm feeling okay. No clouds in my way. Yeah, I'm headed straight. The sun feels good through the window. Hearing my song on the radio. I'll be on top. It's all that I want tonight. My tour bus looking all filled up. My wife, my band, and my 2 pups. I'll be on top. It's all that I want tonight. It's all that I got tonight. Seeing you just crying for days, it broke my heart to pieces, but I'm stronger. I could be your soldier, and I'm feeling okay. no clouds in my way. Yeah, I'm headed straight. The sun feels good through the window, hearing my song on the radio. I'll be on top, it's all that I want tonight. My tour bus looking all filled up, my wife, my band, and my 2 pups. I'll be on top, it's all that I want tonight. It's all that I got tonight. It's all that I got tonight. But all the lies I told my friends were honestly the worst of it. But I'm sober, yeah, I'm sober. The sun feels good through the window, hearing my song on the radio. I'll be on top, it's all that I want tonight. My tour bus looking all filled up, my wife, my band, and my 2 pups. I'll be on top, it's all that I want tonight. It's all that I got tonight. You're all that I got tonight.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My soul feels a lot more rested
Great.
after that.
That's kind. I appreciate that.
Thank you again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yeah, this is really fun. Cool. I hope to hang, at that rave sometime, and if not, got to keep in touch and go.
Where can people find you?
So people can find me on Instagram at Judah Holiday, JUDAH. Holiday, HOLIDAY. You can find me JudahHoliday.com as well. Everything is at Judah Holiday, and I have a lot of new music coming out, various acoustic videos and live performances, stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot more content coming your way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks
I
for
really
having
appreciate
me.
it.
Absolutely. Cool.
Remember, you can follow me, as always, across all the places at Devlin Wilder. That's DEVLINWILDER. And Faux Real at Faux Real Pod. That's FAUXREALPOD. That's it for this one. See you on the next one.